There's a look at the canvas we are starting with today. Chunky fella. Look at the girth. I get a good feeling about thick nuggets of a bait like this. Unexplainable one, but it's good. Maybe it's because I know the action's going to be immaculate. Usually you get really good actions when they're thick like this. That's why. Starting with white. Let's get started. Went to grab my isopropyl alcohol bottle, and this little fella claimed it. I always run some isopropyl alcohol through the airbrush right before every paint session, no matter what. That keeps it pretty clean. White, where is it? It's called a Threadfin Bream. Looks like a nice round thick fish. Crazy colors on that. Look how yellow that yellow is. Past purple, that goes to blue. There's some blue detail up there. Purple, pink, fleshy, salmonish, pearly pink stuff. It's a saltwater species. I don't do a lot of those. Let's get one of those done. That's what I feel like doing. So let's get some deep purple up top first. That way we can blend the less intense colors around that. Stuffed it way up there. Sorry, those intense colors are playing tricks on the camera. Wow. Going with some magenta. That was opaque. I probably should have did transparent, but we can do other stuff, make that not look so intense. Main thing to achieve that is get the white back out. But I'm all done following the top curvature of the bait. We're gonna go this way now with the white and try to fade some of that crazy intense magenta out. See, that's just such a long, subtle fade from that magenta that was up there to actually being completely white on the belly. Like it's almost the whole side of the bait, that long, subtle fade. Now I'm gonna hit it with some neon orange. Sunburst. Just a tiny bit. See that? Just establishing a bit of a line there. I'm gonna grow that and try to fade it in to the rest of the body. At this point, I'm opening the airbrush all the way up, hitting the whole thing. I just spat a little bit, dang it. See those tiny specks? That kind of thing usually gets completely covered up by the scales, so it's okay. I think they call that morning dawn in the soft plastic world. Looks like a sunrise. It's a good start. First I'm gonna spray gray, then I'm gonna spray white, and then I'm gonna spray yellow. I'm going to try to keep kind of a little dark grayish line on the outsides of the yellow. I'm going to hit this thing with white again. That's too intense. I usually don't do that, but that's just too intense. Or should I just trust it? It's a tough decision. Pearl white in a base coat. Careful now. I put some metal slingshot balls in this can of pearl white to help get everything that settled on the bottom mixed, and they're rusting. I haven't ran into any issues with like the color of the paint that comes out, but I'm feeling safe putting pearl white on the base coat because I'm going to come back with just completely opaque yellow, and it's going to contrast nicely against the pearl white. The scales where there's already pearl white won't show up as well. It's like they'll show up over the yellow, but that's fine. They'll show up good because I'll probably use aluminum. Dang it. I just poured white in my airbrush instead of pearl white. Oh, gosh. I don't have a gray that I like the way it shoots, so I make them. Just blacks and whites, but you can add reducers and balancing clears to make them shoot nice. A nice light gray. I'm probably not even going to shoot white over this gray. I'm going to go straight to opaque yellow, because that's not too dark. It's going to shoot so good. Alright, there's shape to keep in mind here. The stripes need to kind of follow, you know, how close they are to the bottom versus the top. They need to follow that curve. How many am I doing? Probably 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More towards the bottom. Okay, this is going to be one of those be careful moments. Come out of the airbrush, please. Okay. Very uniform. Not so much a natural pattern, but a very eye-pleasing pattern is what I'm going for. Because this bait shape isn't so natural. It's a very round nugget is what it is. I cut out like 5 seconds right there trying to think of what to call that. A very round nugget is what I came up with. There's that side. Not exactly the same from side to side, but nothing is. Nothing's the same from side to side. There's some philosophical commentary right there. Just established a universal. Okay, opaque yellow. Alright, there's my opaque wicked yellow on a popsicle stick for some reason. This is a lot less opaque than I was expecting. I think I'll just have to keep it thick though, and I kind of like the look of it staying thick like that. It's keeping it consistent, the line thickness. Whew. Yeah, that scared me. Almost messed up. That's fine. I didn't. Might have had a little bit too much coffee. It's just making it look more natural. Mixed up a bit brighter of a color. I can apply it a little thinner too and just come back with the second coat real quick. That was some pretty intense color shift. Not sure what this is going to look like. I don't know why I choose to use powders that I don't know what they look like. Taking a pretty big chance, you know. Orange, red, and gold. Purple. And let's get the first clear coat on. I'm going to keep it out of the eye sockets. After I get them scales on, probably gonna have to go back over with the yellow on those lines. It's scale time. Going with window screen. Window screen gives you a very squared off diamond pattern. It's not very natural, but I think the squared off diamond pattern will look good with the uniform curved lines. I always need an excuse in my mind for what I'm doing, but it's actually not necessary. I don't need to justify small little choices like that all the time. I could see big choices, not small ones like this though. Very much of the color that I want to show on the end product of the bait is on the base coat here. Blue on the top, just a dusting of aluminum. It's a pretty opaque color, aluminum. Pearl white, I'll look into it deeper after that, maybe some pinks. We're gonna start at the bottom. Pearl white. That's why window screen's awesome too, the heat gun. It can take heat pretty well. Yeah, you really wanna make sure you're pressed against the bait everywhere. Aluminium. Just gonna need like a spritz. And you know what? I'm gonna flip the bait around like that and shoot it down. You can kind of see the effect from spraying it at this angle. That'll make it not so harsh diamond pattern from the window screen. Since I sprayed it like this though, the most aluminum went like right here. That'll make a nice shiny flank on the end product. I'm gonna put some blue over that too. Candy transparent blue, so that aluminum shines through it really good still. Alright, this is a candy blue right here. Candy 2.0. Never been opened. It's extremely blue though with some transparency still. That's the whole point of candy colors. Needs to be mixed with 40-30 to work. Balancing clear. Whew. Just splash some on my face. Whoopsie. There, got the micron out. Okay, that's very blue. Alright, I brought it down a bit. That's enough. That blue is so ridiculously intense, I need to go back over it with something. I've walked back and forward looking at a picture like 3 times now. Okay, that's a lot better, but I'm not done. I have a neon magenta. I've never opened this. This is probably perfect though. And if it's not perfect, like match-wise, it'll probably just be a freaking awesome color to put on it anyway. Yeah, it's almost hot pink. It's definitely not hot pink, it's a lot darker. Kind of that vibe though. Let's be careful. Tried to stay way at the top. I think that's good. I'm gonna accept that. That neon magenta against the blue and then straight to a really bright aluminum, and the rest is pretty transparent white, pearl white, will look good. I just went over all the colors just to say that they'll look good. I could have just said that'll look good. Scale reveal. Trying to be really careful back here. It was kind of peeling. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just leave it at that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's just like a segmented off splash of magenta, splash of blue, really shiny everywhere. Kind of some muddied up, like not super uniform scales in the middle because of that angled spray I did of the aluminum. Totally fine, because I'm going to come back in and reestablish even that one up there, that yellow line, with my most opaque of yellows. Still need to figure out which one that is. And then we'll be ready for gills. These don't have a black top either. They have like a reddish orange, orangish red top. Vermilion. Vermilion. This is gonna be such a bright, interesting looking bait. Right up there. That looks good though. That's kind of the picture I've been using as inspiration this whole time, mostly. You know, lots of really bright orangish red, so I just did the top that way. Otherwise, the color match is pretty spot on. I added some white on the bottom, just like that orangish red on the top. Just gonna reestablish those yellow lines now. I want them brighter than what's natural. Then I'll be happy. Alright, there's some yellow on a popsicle stick again. I can't even see that top line anymore, so this is gonna require some good guessing. I have to hold it like this to barely see it. There's the top one. That'll do. I can see all the others. That looks great. Yeah, if you're not looking at it with a glare behind it, the yellow is so bright, but when the glare's behind it, it kind of blends in. I think that makes it just right. Good stuff. Which one was I gonna do? I always choose one and then forget. I think it was this one. Yeah, because then I was gonna come down with one more. Maybe two. Okay. I like that gill pattern. That fin looks nice and saltwater-like, whatever that means. That was my first thought after I sprayed it. It's like, oh, that looks pretty saltwater-like. I get in such a second-guessy mood when I'm placing these stencils. I'll spend a full minute just trying to line one up perfect and then just take it all the way off and start again. Like that. I always want to look at it one more time on the other side. I came right up to the bottom there. That's kind of like the main area you want to lighten up when you do this step. The rest is just kind of giving it the outline. You don't want to overdo it on the top. Like that. The top just gets a fine misting. More colors go in, so just don't even worry about it. Pearl white in the brush. Gonna keep it towards the bottom after I finagle this stencil into place. Maybe we'll get it on sometime today, who knows. That looks good. Keeping the pearl white very localized in the corners, bottom corners of those gill plates. Have to do the fin. So annoying when you forget to do the fin and you moved on to the other side with something else. That was like an even coat everywhere just to make it kind of shine. I don't have a pearlized magenta. So, magenta in the cup. Pretty much equal parts magenta and aluminum. Balancing clear. A couple drops of reducer always helps. Did you guys see that? I want the majority of it nice and close to the eye. Localize it right there. It's a powerful color, kind of sparkly. Looks like a pearlized color. That looks great. We're getting really close to being done here. Boy, it really needed that orange. That was just a pinch of that neon magenta. That did it. It's good. Let's put the eyes on this and finish the fins. Alright, apart from that black pupil and pearl white iris, we're going to do yellow and that vermilion red in the eye. Alright, and that's going to be backed by an aluminum foil. How does that look? That looks great. Wow, shiny. I'm pretty darn satisfied with that. The colors all correlate. I don't want to tip it up towards the camera right now because the glue is still wet, but good stuff. Final clear coat's coming right up. Alright, it's testing time. Finished bait right here. I'll show you closer in a little bit. Let's test it first. First time seeing. Floats hard. Cranks hard. Yeah, that's an extremely hard crank. Very wide wobble. tons of thump. It's because the body's so thick. That's super good. Pretty much a wake bait. It doesn't want to go down. That's really good. Let me get some phone action. That's insane. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was going to be a wake bait, but it totally is. Threadfin Bream wake bait.
Dad, I really want to see what that bait does.
Good stuff. I snuck some pink down there under those bottom little gill plates off camera. Always got to be that way. Quite the paint scheme. I like it. Might do some spin-off adaptations of that later. I don't know. So much color. Lovely. I'm gonna have to make that official later. More baits needing painted. Coming right up. Look at this beast. So, look forward to that. On to the next bait. Whew, gosh. Thick. It's actually not necessary, but I'm not done. Crazy girth. Okay.